Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me using basically the most expensive products that I have in my collection, and I'll be letting you know if I think they're worth it or not. So if that's something you wanted to see, if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. All right, so I am not primed because I'll tell you why. So first of all, I'm going to preface this whole video by saying this is not to be like I'm bragging about how expensive these products are. It's not at all. It's actually to be like, do I think these are worth it, and should you waste your money on products that are this expensive where you could find other products that are just as good, if not better, for cheaper. So that's kind of why I'm doing this video. So actually some of these things, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really even use that often. So I'm gonna start with foundation. I would prime my face. Usually I always do a primer, and I usually use the Hourglass primer, which is very expensive, but I do think this one is worth it. It does keep me relatively smooth and pretty oil-free. I was using the Tom Ford. I did find I'd get a little bit shinier with the Tom Ford though, so out of the two, I'd probably go with that one. But for foundation, this one does not work well with like a mattifying primer because it's a matte foundation. I feel like it kind of gets stuck on the skin in areas, so I'm just gonna avoid primer altogether. So I have prepped and put my skincare and everything on. So I'm gonna go in with the Clé de Peau Teint Fluid Eclat Matte Radiant Fluid Foundation. I read it in French. I do this every time. Radiant Fluid Foundation Matte. And I have the shade Very Light Buff. I loved this when I first used it, and I just never reach for it. And I think it's because it doesn't play well with primers, but we'll see. And it is pretty light too. It's pretty light and it's pretty yellow. I mean, it looks like it matches kind of, but you'll see what I mean. So I'm just going in. See what I mean? It just seems very light. But yeah, this one I had actually posted on my Poshmark, and I know it's kind of weird to buy a foundation. I think I took it down because I'm like, well, it is kind of weird because nobody really knows like when you bought it, how long you've had it for. And by this time now, I don't really feel good selling it because I've had it for over a year. So it's like, you know. So I'm pretty sure I took it down. If not, I will be taking it down. It does sort of remind me of the Dior foundation, but I think I prefer the Dior. This one here. Forever Matte. And I think I just have a better shade in the Dior too. So, yeah. I had a hard time picking out certain products that I was going to use today because, like for eyeshadow, I have like some Tom Ford palettes. I have a couple Chanel eyeshadow palettes, which to me are like, they're only quads, right? So to me, that's obviously, if you're looking at it a different way, would be more expensive than say a Pat McGrath palette for how much you're getting, because with a Pat McGrath palette, I think that there's 12 shadows in there. And although it is more expensive per shadow, it's cheaper, you know what I mean? But I am going to use the Pat McGrath palette because I haven't used it in a long time. And technically it was more expensive than any other palette that I've ever bought. Which, like I said, I barely use it. It's beautiful, but I knew this would happen, and I even said it in my video where I was reviewing it, that I don't know, I don't reach for super big palettes anymore. I'm not really sure why. I just stick to like quads or just mini palettes because I just feel like they're easy to travel with. They just kind of, have everything I need in one, whereas the Pat McGrath is stunning. Like, it's very beautiful. But I had mentioned that there's not really like a transition shade. Like, you can not sheer out, but you can blend out some of the shades in the palette to make it look like more of a transition shade. Like, there's that dark brown, and then there's kind of like a burgundy shade where you can definitely sheer them out to make it work. But to me, there needed to be like a light brown shade in there just to really bring it together. Instead of having like that reddish one and the burgundy shade, they should have just done a light brown to replace one of them, in my opinion. But I did see a lot of people saying the same thing, so yeah. She just really loves her pink shades. She always adds one into her palette. I was looking at the bronze quad that just came out. I think it's Venusian Sunrise or something. That could be totally off. Don't quote me on that. Venusian something. And it is very beautiful, and like definitely those are the kind of colors I go for. But I think the special part of her palettes are obviously the glittery shades, the special shades as everyone calls them. And I just don't really, I don't know, I've been really matte lately. Like, I've been enjoying a good matte eye. And not because I think I'm like too old to wear sparkle or anything. Like, my mom, you're not too old, Mom, but you know, my mom's obviously older than I am and she loves sparkle on her eyes. So I don't think anyone's ever too old for certain makeup looks. Maybe some things might enhance, you know, lines or texture or wrinkles or some things like that, but I just don't agree with saying, oh, you know, you're this age, you need to wear matte eyeshadow, you can't wear sparkle. It's like, let people live and do whatever they want, you know? So this is the foundation. I look dead right now. Look at my under eye. Yikes. Okay, so we're good on foundation. It's actually looking okay right now. Like I said, it works well on the skin if you don't use a primer. If you do, it's like it gets patchy in areas. It almost gets like stuck and you can't blend it out. And if you're paying that much for a foundation, that should not be happening. You should be able to use it any which way. I don't have a super expensive concealer. I had the Versace. No, not Versace. I had the, what is it called? Oh my God, I just used it last week. Starts with a V. Oh my God, I don't even remember what it's called. Anyways, I used it in my last video. I returned it because it just did not work. It was very thin, and which is nice. You like a thin formula, but I feel like the coverage wasn't really there. It looked so good when I first put it on, but in the long run, it just didn't wear well. So I'm gonna go in with, sorry, I feel a dog hair or something on me. The Dior, I think this is the most expensive one I have. The Dior Forever Skin Correct. And this is in the shade 0N. This one, I don't really wear that often either. There's not really a reason why. It's just not my favorite. Like, it's pretty, but it's just not one of my favorites. But I haven't tried the new one. Tell me if there's that much of a difference between the new one and the old one. I had seen people say there wasn't, but then other people were like, I'm in love with the new one. And I'm like, well, wait, what's the difference? Like, I know it was reformulated, but like, is it that much better? And what is different about it? I think I just need to watch more videos. I don't really have, I guess I could use this, which is the Pat McGrath under eye powder, but I'm not like super, I don't want to say I'm not in love with it. I've just found stuff that works better for me. So I might go in with the Huda powder. So this is really nice. People are obsessed with it. Like, they're obsessed. And I think it depends on obviously the concealer you're wearing underneath it, but it is nice and smoothing. Sometimes I almost feel like, even though it's white and it's supposed to brighten the under eye, sometimes I feel like it almost makes it look gray or like darkens my under eye, and I don't know why. That could just be a me thing. But I'm using the Huda for now. I have such issues, I mentioned this in my last video too, with like getting the creases out. Okay, I'm gonna go do my other eye and I will come back. Okay, so next, sorry, I have both eyes done now. Next is powder. I don't really have any like super expensive powders. I would say like around the $50 range. The Huda I think is $51. I'm gonna use the Dior because this is probably my most expensive one. I think it is around the $50 mark again. But yeah, I mean, not that that's not expensive, but you know, it's no Givenchy or anything. Sorry, I'm just looking for my powder brush here. There we go. Found it. Okay. So I have the shade 1N. Are they coming back out with this? Like, what's happening? I'm kind of upset that they're just not really saying anything, and it's like, is it being reformulated? Why don't we know anything? But it's not on the Sephora site. It is still on the Dior site, so if you like it and you want to stock up. I mean, I've found other powders that I like just as much, if not more, so I'm probably gonna just use this one and not get a backup, but it is very beautiful. It's not super mattifying, but it does set the makeup. It just, yeah, it just works. And with my nose, I'll just go in with a powder puff. I always like to kind of get like right around the corner. So that's powder. I do think this is worth it. So if you can get it, I would say get it. I would say that this powder would work best for somebody who had like a normal, dry, normal skin. I have obviously an oilier skin type, so it doesn't work the best for me during the winter, but I feel like during the summer, but I feel like during the winter and like fall months that it would be fine. So that's what we're looking like. Still a little bit glowy. Yeah, so I really like the NARS powder because it's a mattifying primer. Why can't I talk ever in a video? Mattifying powder, and the Huda one's been really nice. I do want to try the Givenchy again, but we'll see, because I had tried it and wasn't super impressed by it, but we'll try again. I mean, everybody's obsessed, so I feel like I need to try. For bronzers, Westman Atelier, this is the shade Biscuit. This is the mini contour stick. There's, let's see, 2.5 grams in here. So if you're complaining about the Milk one being small, the Milk one did get much smaller than it used to be, but it has almost 6 grams of product in there, and this one only has 2.5, and it's like the same price. So just keep that in mind. Like, there is not a lot of product in here. That's it. Like, I haven't used it that much, so just be forewarned. It is beautiful. Do I think that if you have a budget for a new bronzer that it's worth it and you're willing to spend a lot of money? Yes. Like, I do think the quality of the product is really beautiful and it's nice, But do I think that you could find something similar or just as good for cheaper? Yes. I think the NARS is quite a bit cheaper than the full size. The NARS Laguna in 01 is what I use. And I think I like it better than this. Keep in mind, this is a contour stick. It's not a bronzer. NARS is a bronzer, but 01 is like such a beautiful neutral shade that I don't know. I never really use contour as contour. I always just kind of do like a bronzer all over. So, I mean, depends. If you are using this as solely a contour, then yes. I haven't tried the milk ones, but I've heard those are amazing too. And you get a full size for basically the price of this mini. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just depends what you're looking for. Are you looking for just the name? Are you looking for a good deal for the amount of product you're getting? It all depends. I hope this is making sense. I tend to ramble a little bit, but it is beautiful and I can't deny that. Would I buy it again? Possibly. But like I said, I do love the NARS one, and for the amount that I actually am contouring, like I don't think I'd need to buy a full size one, is what I mean. I have enough, cream bronzers and cream products that I don't think I would have to buy the full size. But I really don't think the mini is worth it. Sorry to be confusing. Let's go to sculpt this little chin. Double chin. Oh my gosh, I did a workout yesterday and it was an 1.5-hour workout. It was a Grow with Jo workout. She is so good. She's so fun. And just like, listen, there was a time where after, about the 60-minute mark, and I was like, I think I'm over it. But she's just so easy to follow and to listen to, and she's got a good pace between every like exercise you're doing. Basically, it was like a walking exercise. Like, I think it was a 5-mile, like burn 800 calorie walk. And I think she has one that's a 3-mile as well, which is like a 45-minute video. And I was gonna do that, and then I saw the 5-mile and I was like, may as well just go for it. So yeah, I did that one and it was really, really good. I think there was a girl on TikTok, because I know there was so many comments where they're like, I came here from TikTok. And I think there was a girl who posted a video about how, and I'm not gonna say that this is real, I think she did like 10 other things to help lose weight, but it was like I did this for 7 days and now I lost weight. And she did the Grow with Jo video for 7 days and it was crazy. She definitely looked like she had lost. I'll be right back. Sorry, my fiance just walked in. I'm using the Guerlain Terracotta Light Bronzer, this guy here, and this is Light Cool 00. So anyway, as I was saying, she did a bunch of other things in addition to the workout, like drinking lemon coffee and doing all these other things. So I don't know if it was specifically Jo's workouts, but they are really good. And I could see that if you didn't work out at all, like doing that for a week would definitely not make you lose weight specifically, but definitely get you in shape. It is so hot outside. Sorry if you heard the air just went on. But I'm not gonna complain because our winters are literally the worst ever. So thank God it's hot. Just need a tan. I'm too pale. But anyway, if you're interested in looking for somebody just that's really awesome, easy to follow, super like, I don't know, she just has an awesome personality. Like, she just seems like a fun person, then definitely check out the Grow with Joe videos. Okay, so I think we're good for bronzer as I add more. Yeah, okay. So I think that definitely helped with the color of the foundation. I always just kind of like go back and blend everything a little bit. So for blush, I was gonna, Valentino concealer. That's what I bought. Valentino concealer that I returned. I could not think of the name. I was gonna use the Armani blushes, but then I realized technically these are more expensive for the amount of product that you get. So I could use this, but I think I'm gonna go with Gucci because Gucci is technically the most expensive blushes that I've ever bought. And I think I've used Warm Berry quite a bit, so I think I'm gonna go in with my good old reliable Rosy Beige. She's been very loved. I don't know what brush to use. Maybe I'll go with this one. This is just a Real Techniques brush. I'm sorry if you can hear that. We were staying at my parents' place again this weekend. This is why I didn't do a video last weekend. We stayed at my parents' place and it's just hard to lug everything over there. So everything that I wanted to bring, I'm like, oh, it's just too much. Let's just do it this weekend. But yeah, I have all my makeup brushes in a bag, so if you could hear me kind of rustling around in a bag, it's because I'm looking for brushes. I haven't used this in so long. I missed it. What I used to do all the time is mix this shade with the Dior, and I think I am gonna do that because the Dior is quite expensive too for the amount of product that you get. I'm gonna blend it. Don't worry, I'm gonna blend. Sometimes I watch my videos back and I'm like, whoa, blend that out, girl. So I can only imagine what people are thinking when they're watching. Like, calm that down. I always forget how pretty this blush is. I don't know how I forget because everyone talks about it and how good it is. I saw they were coming out with new colors. This is a problem. Stop coming out with new blushes because I want them all. There's a super nice Gucci one too. Gucci just came out with a new pink. I mean, luckily, but not really luckily for me because I can't get it. But it's on the Nordstrom site. And it looks like Nordstrom Canada is not a thing anymore. Why? Why do we lose everything? Bring it back. But yeah, so you can't even buy anything online from Nordstrom Canada anymore. It was just so abrupt. It was like, I got an email one day that's like, hi, bye. We're like, what? Where are you going, buddy? But yeah, so the Gucci's are the new shades are on the, I think there are 3 new shades. One is called red, but it's clearly orange. I'm like, is it red in person? The true pink is the one that I want, which is kind of like that cool tone pink that everyone loves. But yeah, I can't get it. So hopefully it'll be added to the Sephora site. So that's what we're looking like. Gucci mixed with, these are, I'm sorry to say, so worth it. These are worth it. The Gucci just like spreads beautifully on the cheek. So does Dior. Like, they're just good. They're just really good. And I have nothing bad to say about either one of them. Besides maybe the price, but when it's worth it, it's worth it. What? 4.6 grams. Okay, it's not as small as I thought it was. The Armani blushes are still smaller. I know I talk about that all the time, but why is it so small? Okay, I'm gonna go do my brows, do my nose contour, and I'll come back and do my eyes. I lied. I'm gonna do my highlight first, and then I'll go do my brows. So for highlight, I have two that are like insanely expensive, and they're a lot, okay? They're a lot. The first one is the Chantecaille. This is all I own from Chantecaille, which is the Sunbeam Cheek and Eye in the shade Ray. I think you can still get this. It's stunning. I mean, it is beautiful for summer. You can use it on the cheeks and the eyes. So, I mean, it does have a purpose, dual purpose. But yeah, I don't know. Is it worth it? It's beautiful. Okay, I think if you bought it, you wouldn't regret it. But do I use it all the time? No. I use more just like my Charlotte Tilbury highlight that I got. Just because this one, it does have a slight cast. I mean, I'm super fair, so, but I could use this as blush. So, I don't know. I used it a lot last summer and I loved it. This one also, oh, so pricey. Oh. Do you know what it is? It is the Westman Atelier Peau de Pêche, what is it called? Super Loaded Tinted Highlight. Sorry, it was in dark writing. Peau de Pêche. And I'll show you this on my hand. This one does have a slight cast as well. Like they're both kind of like similar tone. And I didn't think when I first got it that it had a cast, but it does have a slight cast. But I wear it anyway because when I see it in the light, it's just so beautiful. You know? Oh, yes, you see. I like to use my fingers. I mean, you can use a brush, you can use whatever you want, but I just find it just kind of melts into the skin better when I use my hands. So you can kind of see that it does leave a little bit of a cast, but from this side it just looks so pretty. So I kind of just don't care about the cast. I'm like, ah, it just looks like my blush is going a little bit higher. So yeah, it is worth it. I mean, the packaging is luxe. It's very smooth. It's pretty. It's very pretty. You get 4 grams of product in here. It feels like 20 because it's so heavy. I mean, what she doesn't have in product, like grams wise, she makes up for in packaging. So if you just love like luxe, beautiful packaging, I don't think you would be disappointed. I am looking a little oily. I'm looking for my powder puff here, right in front of my face. So I'm just gonna kind of just dab a little bit. So now I'm gonna go do my brows and I'll be back. Okay, they look scary right now, but we'll get everything together. I don't know what happened to my finger. I just noticed this. I thought it was makeup at first, but anyway. So brows are done. I don't usually buy super expensive brow products. I find I could get just as good of results with drugstore products. This is the only one from Sephora that I use, which is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. This is just clear. And then generally I'll go in with either like the CoverGirl or Maybelline Ultra Slim. Just go underneath my brow with that and then fill them in with the NYX Lift and Snatch in the shade Blonde. So that's all I did for brows. I'm sorry I'm always touching my hair. I should probably just tie it up when I'm doing my videos, but it just looks better down. So I'm sorry if that annoys you. So for shadow, like I said, I could use like the Chanel ones or the Tom Ford, but this is just the most expensive one that I own. So, and I haven't used it in a long time and I want to get some use out of it. So here we go. This is the Mothership number 10 and it is called, how do I forget what it's called? Moonlit Seduction? Yes, Moonlit Seduction. So to start off, I think I'm going to start with that dark brown. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. It's a mystery. Maybe I'll go in with like a tiny pencil brush and just go kind of like in the corner. Because I don't know. I just don't know what I'm doing. I saw, oh no, I forget her name. I'll put it down below. But I did see somebody that I subscribed to doing a look with the, what eyeshadow palette was she using? Was it a Pat McGrath? I think it was a Pat McGrath shadow palette. And she did a similar look to this, and I really liked the way it looked on her. So I was like, I'm gonna do that. Something similar. It's not gonna be exactly the same because it's not the same palette, but I will find her page and I will link it down below. So right now it's looking crazy. It's like, that's really dark. It's funny because when you're watching somebody else do makeup, you're like, oh God, it's not gonna work. And then when it comes together, you're like, wow, was not expecting that. She used a MAC palette. She used one of the new MAC palettes that just came out. What are they even called? I know there's like a bronzy one. There's like a more mauvey toned one. There's a bunch of them. And they look really nice. And I did have one in my cart. And then I was like, okay, calm down. You have too many. So I'm going to use this shade here. It's that more like mauvey kind of burgundy toned one. And I'm going to try to gently blend this out. So this is kind of what she did. She did a really dark brown and mixed it in with like a mauvey tone. I might have to add some bronzer in. This is definitely not really like a daytime look, but I don't really care about that. I'll do a smoky eye during the day, anytime. So, again, I don't really like follow any type of rules. It's just kind of like, I'm gonna do what I feel like whenever, and everyone else should too. So that's what we're looking like so far. Which color do I want to use? I think I want to go in with, it's kind of like a pinky toned shimmer. I think I'll go in with that, and maybe I'll add some of that lilac one on top. I don't know yet. I am not using glitter glue or anything. I don't really feel like it needs glitter glue, but I do like to go in with my finger because I just feel like there's better glitter payoff when I do that. I did use the glitter glue for the first time ever the other day, and I do like it. It definitely makes everything stay in place for sure. But the only thing I don't love is that it kind of makes the glitter look more chunky, whereas I like when it's more of like a twinkly look to it. Like, I just prefer that like beautiful sparkle, like shimmer twinkle, rather than, you know, it just being like sparkle. So what I think I'm gonna do is go underneath. I'm gonna go into both that dark brown and that kind of burgundy tone. just with the same pencil brush. I hate when my face is this close because then my nose looks so long in the camera, which like it is, but I just don't like getting that close. It's like, calm down. Just, you know, it's like not that bad, but when I'm extra close, I'm like, ugh. I get self-conscious when I'm too close to the camera. That's what we're looking like, going in again with a little bit of that kind of mauvey pinky tone. And then I think in the corner, like on the inner corner, we are gonna do, I wonder if I should do this one. Maybe we'll go with this one here. And I'm going with my finger again. That didn't really add as much as I wanted it to. Let's go in with that lilac. So this is what we're looking like. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this palette. As much as I think it is beautiful, I just really don't feel like I get enough use out of it. I think if you're somebody who loves punch and pow and sparkle and, you know, then I think that you would love it. But I've just been so neutral. I don't want to say boring, but I've just loved like a very neutral matte look lately that for me it might not have been worth it. I don't want to get rid of it because I do think it's beautiful, but sorry. But do I think that I'm going to use it all the time? No, I don't use it all the time. Like, I already know that I don't. So again, that's a choice that you have to make for yourself, if it's worth it or not. But yeah, I'm going to use the Urban Decay. I don't really have a super expensive liner either. I'm trying to think. Not really. I'm just taking this brown shade, and this is Whiskey. Why did I even have to look? I knew it was Whiskey. So I'm just kind of lining. I probably should have done that first. I'm gonna go over it again with the brown and a little bit of that pink. Just to kind of blend it out a little. What do we think of this? I think it's pretty. So I'm gonna go in a tiny, like just a tiniest little dab into that purpley pink shadow and just kind of blend it out a bit. And I'm gonna go in with mascara. I don't really have, again, I always use drugstore mascaras. I think the most, eyeliner. Why didn't I use Victoria Beckham? Those are the most expensive liners I have. Here, I'll go in with, let's see if I have Cocoa here. I'll go in with Cocoa in the waterline. It's down to a little nub. I do really like these. They're really nice and smooth. The only issue is they sharpen weird, even if you buy the sharpener with the pencil. I always have an issue with, if you can see, there's little like jagged, sorry, my nails have makeup under them. There's like little jagged edges, and sometimes that'll get in your eye and it's not fun. So mascara, probably the only mascara I have right now from Sephora is the Tower 28 and Rare Beauty. So I think the Tower 28 would be the most expensive one I have, but I like to mix my mascaras, so I'm probably gonna go in with a bit of the CoverGirl Exhibitionist and Mix in the Rare Beauty, I think. I used the Tower 28 in my last few videos, so I will do that and I'll come back. All done the eyes. I wanted to mention this brush. I just picked this up the other day. It's the Sephora number 64 Pro Foundation brush. It is so good. I love, you'd think it'd be, like, it is dense, but I don't know, just, I've been using it for blush because I've had an issue with the Charlotte Tilbury blush where it's like it dries a little bit too quickly, so I have to spread it out really quickly, and this has been perfect for that, but I think it would be amazing for foundation too. It's just so soft and nice, and yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, let's get to lips. So this is how the eyes turned out. I do think it's really pretty. Again, if I went out more, I feel like I would wear this quite a bit, but you know, I just go to work, and not that you can't wear it to work, I think you can wear whatever, but I'm just stuck in a neutral palette phase. So am I happy I have it in my collection? Yes. Am I getting rid of it? No. But do I think it's worth it for me personally? Not really. I've also realized that I think I really like that concealer. I haven't worn it in a really long time, but it's looking really smooth right now. Just so you can see. I'm kind of really liking it. I think I should probably try the new one, but if it's the same, let me know. If you have both of them, are they the same? I watched a video, I think it was Michelle Wong, that said she thought there wasn't really much of a difference, but then I think Charlotte Holdcroft said that she's like in love with it now and it's one of her favorites, and I think before she had it and it was just okay. So if it's even better than this, then let me know. For lips, I don't really have any super expensive lip liners. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, Makeup by Mario Dimitri. I have the Give lip liner. All of them are around the same price, around like $32, $34. So I'm gonna go in with Dimitri. And I'm sorry that my lips are so dry. Don't mind that. And lipstick. I think my most expensive lipstick is the Chanel lipstick. But I don't really love the color of that one. It's kind of orangey on me. It was the shade Illusion. So I don't want to wear it. I don't want to. You're not gonna make me. No, I just don't feel like it really goes with the look. So I'm gonna do good old reliable Gucci and Carol Beige. Where is it? Where is it? I found it. It's my little brush bag. So here's what it looks like. I've mentioned this before, but I bought two Carol Beiges because this one is the satin, I think, but they look nothing alike. This one, orange. This one, not orange. This is the matte Carol Beige. So if you are looking for one that's like a little more shiny, I wouldn't say it's like super shiny. It has a little bit of a sheen to it though. And warmer toned, go with the satin. If you want matte and cooler toned, go with the matte. What did I just say? If you want matte and cool toned, go with the Carol Beige matte. If you want a satiny kind of warmer toned, go with the Carol Beige, and I think it's satin. Let me just make sure. I don't know. They're both the same number though. They're both 103. One is matte, one is a satin, I believe. So you could tell by the packaging. This is the satin, this is the matte. Sorry, there's a little mascara on there. Now I'm gonna go in with my most expensive lip gloss. You already know. If it's in this little bag, you know where it's from. It's a Westman Atelier lip gloss, and it's in the shade. It's called the Squeaky Clean Liquid Lip Balm, and it's in the shade, what is it called? Oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Nana. But I'll write it down below. This feels so nice on the lips, and it's very pretty, but I just don't wear lip gloss that much, so I don't think I would buy it again, only because I like a matte look. So if you really love gloss and it feels like a balm, like it says it's a balm, it's just a very beautiful cool toned nude. I'll show you what it looks like on my hand. It looks very, very similar to Bikini. If you have Bikini by Victoria Beckham, very similar. So that's what it looks like on top of the Carol Beige lipstick. And that's everything. So again, is this worth it? For me, no. But again, if you're gonna wear lip gloss all the time, you want a nice kind of smooth lip gloss. It's not sticky. It's like the complete opposite of sticky. It's very like balmy, feels really good and comfortable on the lips. Then I think you would love it. Okay. What else? Foundation. No, it's just too expensive. It's just way too expensive to not work with a primer. No, like it looks really pretty on the skin. It's nice and matte. It's like a radiant matte, and that's what it's called. So it's not gonna leave you like super duper matte where it's like gonna be cracking and show all of your pores and all of your lines, but I just don't like that it doesn't work with every primer. So that's an issue for me. Eyeliners, the Victoria Beckham liners, yes, I do think they're worth it. I think they're beautiful, but again, watch when you sharpen these because they do get sharp, and the sharpener that I got with it doesn't even work with it anymore. It's like it's shaved away around the pencil where it's too skinny to fit into the sharpener. So I just use my NARS sharpener for everything. The eyeshadow palette, I already talked about that. If you are a colorful girl, a sparkly girl, or boy, I think that you would really enjoy it. I think that you would probably get a lot of use out of it. If you're a neutral lover and you love matte shadows like I do, I think you probably don't need it. Maybe get a quad instead. I don't know. That's just me. But I don't even use, I have the what's it called? Venus and Fleur, the Voyeuristic Vixen. And I don't even really use that one. And it's beautiful. It's super sparkly, and I feel like for me, there's a time and a place for these eyeshadows. That's it. This, yes, 100%. If you have trouble with your brows staying in place, I use that all the time and I love it. Same with the Makeup by Mario, the Master Hold Brow something. It's really good. The bronzers, do I think they're worth it? This one, yes, it's really beautiful. I don't think it's like crazy expensive, considering you do get a decent amount of product in here too, 10 grams. So I do think that this is worth it. Beautiful packaging, and the colors are really nice. Has a nice finish and doesn't get patchy or anything. It's very smooth. The contour stick and biscuit by Westman Atelier, I think it's very beautiful. I don't know that I would need another one. Like I said, I would probably buy the mini because I don't think I need a full size. I have the Rare Beauty ones, which are so much cheaper, have way more shades. But again, this is a contour stick. the Rare Beauty ones are bronzers, so you decide. I think you'd probably be better off with the Milk ones if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper and worth the money. But it is a beautiful product. The highlight, yeah, I love it. I do love it. If you're super fair, be careful. Like I said, it does cause a little bit of a cast here, but from the side, like, oh, it's just so pretty. Like, I can't help but love it. So to me, I do think it's worth it. But again, be careful with these clean products because this is a cream product. It's gonna go bad faster. And I don't know how fast I'll get through it because a lot of times I use my powder highlights, so depends. If you like a cream and you're kind of like a light to medium skin tone or even deep, I think that you would really, really love it. What else? Powder. I do love this powder. I don't know what's going on with this powder. Is it coming back? If it's coming back, totally worth it. And I really, really like it. But if you're super oily, again, you might not like it because it does leave a little bit of a sheen to the skin, as you can see. And it's not really like an oil absorbing powder, but it is beautiful. And it doesn't look heavy on the skin. It's just very softening, and I really hope that that's not going away forever. Lipstick, 100%. The Gucci lipsticks, so comfortable. It's a matte, but it's such a comfortable matte. I don't even feel it on my lips. It's not super drying. It doesn't give you that like butthole look. Sorry. What else? The blushes, 100%. Love them. So I hope this helped. I hope this helped. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If there's anything else you'd like to see, let me know. I might do in my next video like a drugstore that's just as good as high-end, like drugstore products that are just as good as high-end. I don't know if that's something you'd want to see. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I love ya. Bye. I'm back. I so forgot to say Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, and especially to my mom. Love ya. Bye.